Well, of course, the app is only going to work across the country if enough people download it, which is why the Isle of Wight is such an interesting test base. Bob Seeley is MP for the Isle of Wight. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your listeners.
And how's it going? I know it's early days, it's only been launched effectively today, but what's the evidence so far?
The evidence so far is really good. And firstly, thank you very much indeed to Islanders Mark and Sylvia, who you just talked to, for downloading. Really good of them. As of about half an hour ago, the last time I talked to the techies from NHSX, which is the digital bit of the NHS, 33,000 people. We very likely that almost all of them are from the island, have downloaded the app. Now, considering that's 3 hours into a marketing campaign and only a minority of the letters have arrived, that is a very, very strong start. In fact, we believe that we hit a five-figure figure by yesterday evening, just by word of mouth, because, the island's a small place, we all know each other, and I think the URL was being passed around by a lot of islanders yesterday anyway.
Okay, so that's enough to know that it's enough with a requirement for it to work.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are various levels. I've heard this sort of, it doesn't work if it's less than 60%. That's not true. My understanding is that the experiment would fail, or the pilot would fail, if less than 20% of islanders were using it. Well, as of last night, even before the campaign, we nearly hit 20%. So that's not now the issue. So it's just, I think my understanding now is that anything between 20% and 50% is really valuable. But from 50% onwards, you get to that really exponential value where you can start really driving down the reinfection rate, the R curve, and we begin to squeeze the virus out because we find where it is. And by looking after and isolating those folks, we really do damage to coronavirus from that point on.
Okay, so at 33,000 downloads, I suppose you can't. Can you know that they're all on the island?
No, you can't. But we think, and again, I'm not an expert, so I listen to the techies on this. They think the evidence is overwhelming that it is, because you have to give the first part of an island postcode, and it slightly ties in. For example, there was a massive bump mid-morning, and massive bump is their words, not mine, when the first lot of letters started to be open. So between 9 and 11 a.m., when the first round of the letters, 80,000 letters going out, 40,000 have gone out, there was, quotes, an amazing response, a, quotes, massive bump, according to NHSX, as people started opening and downloading the letters. The numbers...
Okay. So I was just curious, what percentage you reckon we're at of the island?
Well, I think between 30 and 40%, but let's work that out. 140,000 population, minus 20,000 for kids. Let's take a slightly conservative number of 75% mobile usage, smartphone penetration on the island, a couple of points below average, but pretty much on par. You're talking roughly between 90 to 95,000 islanders. So to get decent figures, we actually hit... we passed the sort of point of success yesterday evening, even prior to the campaign, and 33 out of 90,000. So basically, we're on about 35% of people who've already downloaded it, despite the fact that the campaign's only a few hours old.
Okay, so encouraging in terms of the reception for the app. Yeah. What about I know it's early days, but what about whether it works? Have people been calling in?
Yes.
Or logging?
As of half an hour ago, 28 people, all genuine call-learners, all islanders, were ringing in to report symptoms as part of the tracing service. That was an additional 17 people today, 28 in total, and all of those now, they're getting tests out within 24 hours. So there is evidence that this is working, and it's driving the tracing and driving the testing. Is it perfect? No. We know that there are going to be